Hi, I'm Tim Andrews,
And I'm Jackie DeVito.
and we're Courageous Hearts Coaching, and this is
Yes.
our podcast.
Yes. Welcome.
Welcome.
So
And today we're going to talk about.
Yes, sorry.
Today we're going to talk about just the pillars of intimacy, and it's in our book, and it's something that we go by for sure. We go by as a coupleship, and it's something it's an intimate way of being with one another, and the pillars are emotional, mental, spiritual, physical. And so it's emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, spiritual intimacy, mental intimacy.
So can we explain what each of those examples of what each of those are?
It's foundational too. When we talk about this stuff, it's really the foundation. I believe it's the foundation of a relationship. Spiritual intimacy in a coupleship is like, how do you guys connect spiritually? What are we doing on a daily basis
On a daily basis.
to create connection spiritually? And there's many ways that we can go about doing that. We can do a meditation together.
Well, I think I want to explain the spiritual first because I think my mind goes straight to religion, and that's not necessarily so. It could be religion, it could be church and praying, but really it's about a belief bigger than ourselves and our values. Our values can also lead to spiritual intimacy as well. And how we can strengthen that is prayer, meditation, nature is very spiritual. Like for me, the beach is.
Me too.
That is my sacred space. So that's spiritual intimacy. What's next?
Emotional
Emotional.
intimacy, and that's sharing feelings with one another is how we connect emotionally, and emotional intimacy, emotional intimacy, and to be present. And to do this type of work, the type of work that we get to do together, or that the coupleships get to do together.
I love that what you said. Be present. I think putting the phone away, giving somebody 100% of your attention, eye contact. I think that is deep emotional intimacy.
I do too.
At work.
I do too. And it creates an openness. It does.
Safety.
Yeah, safety, vulnerability, and that's emotional intimacy.
Well, it says you matter to me. You're important to me.
And then the next is mental intimacy, and it's a simple. That can be simple. It could sound somewhat difficult, but you guys could read something together, learn something together, take a class together.
Yeah, for me, the mental intimacy is all about like learning something together, experiencing new things together. So new experiences. That could be, yeah, like you said, like just reading the same book at the same time, or listening to the same podcast and coming back and talking about it, or taking a class together, a cooking class, even something fun, a dancing class, can all be part of this like mental, intellectual intimacy.
And it's funny, we work with a lot of couples, and 8 of them easily that are in a book club with our book.
Yeah.
And they're all sharing with each other like their insights, what they've learned, and it's creating connection. I mean, that's Courageous Connections. That's the name of the book, and it literally is creating connections.
There's something that your brain releases. It's in the book somewhere, but I could barely remember what I wore yesterday. But it creates a something in the brain, like I don't know, I forgot if it's like serotonin or dopamine, when you and your partner learn something together.
Yeah, and it's connecting. It's bonding. That's what this is about. And that degree of for that intimacy. And then there's physical. And so physical is touch throughout the day, holding hands. I mean, I know that I always have my hand on you all the time, and it's purposeful because it keeps us connected. If we're together, we are like 9 times out of 10 holding hands, or I have some part of me on you, And it's not just only that. We could go to the gym together, we could run together, we could, there's a lot of aspects to it, and we could mountain bike together. There's so many different areas that we can put that into play. And what it creates is, it's just, I know that, like, when I thought someone had asked me, like, I always know that you were touching, I think it was in a podcast or an interview. I can't remember when someone asked me. I always see that you're touching Jackie. I said, I am. And he said, why? And I said, because that's who I choose. And then he said, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, I know that that's who I choose, and to be able to keep, like a physical connection on a pretty consistent basis with her whenever we're together, she knows my touch. She knows my grab, she knows my touch, she knows my hand, she knows my everything. And that becomes, part of the relationship. And then, not that anyone else would touch you or does touch you, but no one touches you like I touch you. And if someone ever touched you in a way in which that like I touched you,
it would feel weird.
It would feel weird, and you would set a boundary with that.
You would recoil
with disgust. Know. And so it's a way to just claim my choice, but really it's about, like, this, us being connected, and we're supposed to be connected.
I think so. They say in the book we put, like, it's like the four legs of a table. So if one is missing, then the table could be a little wobbly. If two is missing, you're in trouble. If three are missing,
it's over.
Yeah. And I think when you were talking, I was like, that's what creates these leaks in relationships, because these are not things that we normally live without, right? So if I'm not spiritually connected to you, or we're not spiritually connected, I'm going to be spiritually connected to something, someone. I mean, we talked about it before. It could be my phone. It could be the people at my church. It could be the people in my yoga studio. It can be, it creates these, like, little leaks, because we're going to do some sort of bypassing to get this need met.
That's right. And that's the purpose of the foundation. And when you're connected like that too, when you're not. That's the other piece. When you're really connected like that, you'll know when you're not, and then something will be off. And all of these intimacies drive themselves. They all create more of a, it's all, I think at the end of the day, it's all spiritual in nature, because the more mental, emotional, physical, spiritually connected you are, spiritual is part of that. There's a union, and all we're doing with one another is we're just exchanging energy, on levels. So we get to exchange all this loving energy with each other, and it really creates a coupleship that people know. That's another thing. Like, we don't go anywhere. Like, when you're that connected, no one's asking a question. Is she single? Is he single? Like, no one's asking that question, because your energy is saying, I don't care where you're at. Your energy is saying you're spoken for.
Yeah. The other part of that is I work with a lot of women, period. So, but I think this goes across both genders. But I work with people that say, I always feel alone. I just always feel alone. Doesn't matter. I could be in a room full of people and I always feel alone. And I think this is why. Because there's a lack of intimacy across the board.
And people don't know. Like, when people are sitting across from us and we say this or we introduce this and we put it into play, people don't understand that what we're even talking about. They grasp the physical, and they immediately think that means sex. And that's a part of it, but it's not even the biggest part of it. that's just a part of it. The biggest part of it is the touch, is the being together. And then we always talk about, well, without, and because oftentimes people are like, well, we're not having, we don't have sex anymore, so we're not physically intimate, and then we just keep reverse engineering that back. When's the last time you kissed? When's the last time you touched? When's the last time you held hands? When's the last time you had each other's, hand on each other's back? When's the last time you gave one another a massage? When's the last time? It's such a deep, it's deeply rooted in all of those, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and with coupleships that we worked with and really focused on that, and then we've talked about, and then the mental, emotional, spiritual, and then the physical. And then we actually talked about the sex part of that when they're doing those 3, 4 actively. That sex part has become like magical.
Yeah, it just kind of takes care of itself.
Right? It's an energetic experience. That's all it is. It's like an energetic exchange. And when you're bridging all the intimacies, that energetic exchange is what it's supposed to be. That is spiritual in nature. The energetic exchange is spiritual in nature. And that's the drive. I mean, we're not driving everybody to have sex, but it's well-rounded, and it opens up the door for more, not from not enough. More from there's more mental, there's more, we can learn more, we get to have fun together. And then you just said it, then we don't have to outsource that fun, even though you get to have your own life and everything, and you don't have to outsource your spiritual intimacy. It's all right there.
It's funny because I think everything is like happens on it perfectly. So we started this podcast, like this episode, and we kind of fumbled a little bit and we got goofy. And that's a huge way that you and I do intimacy.
I know.
Is by being playful. It doesn't all have to be like this serious.
No. No.
And it can be.
It gets to be everything. Life can be serious though, and one of our mantras is light and easy.
Yeah.
It can be deep and intimate, spiritually connected, emotionally connected, physically connected, and mentally connected, and it can be light and easy. I mean, we have a big business, and we're doing these podcasts, and everything is there's a lot going on in this stuff for us, and we can still laugh and have fun, and that's an emotion. Laughing is an emotion.
Well, I think I could not do what I do without having like being goofy and fun, because some of this stuff can be so heavy and serious. Some of the people and topics that we work with, that it's almost like letting out some steam from the pressure cooker. Like I think when we were talking about doing the workshops yesterday with Rita, and we talked about like we get to be goofy and fun.
We get to be goofy and fun. I was thinking about that too. We get to have fun.
Yeah, I think we have to. I think I have to, because I think if it's always so serious and heavy, then that could be really difficult, leading to burnout, leading to depression, leading to a lot of different things that when we don't infuse playfulness in our life, especially if you have a job that is already dealing with like real and heavy things.
Yeah, it's essential. It's food.
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, it's food for my soul.
It's food.
Yeah.
Laughing's food. And light and easy's food. It's a practice. And when you develop these intimacies, you get to have, you create so much safety in the relationship that you have a voice. And most of us didn't have a voice. And when we talked earlier, in one of our earlier podcasts, when we talked about how victim is brought into everybody's life, it's first you have a voice because you're crying, and then you're getting everything you want through your crying, and then your voice is less powerful than the powers that be.
Well, I think I would say immediately we're told you're too loud, you're too this, you're too that, and then we just our spirit gets like squashed.
Yep.
So I think this intimacy is a way to kind of come back to self, because there's exploration in this too,
and gentleness.
yeah. There's exploration, like what what feels good for me spiritually? Where do I replenish my soul?
Right.
Where do we meet in this space? But also, like, those same 4 pillars of intimacy, we should be meeting for ourselves on another level. Like, what am I doing for myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? So I think it's like a little checkbox individually, and then it feeds into what are we doing as a coupleship? Because we don't have to do everything together.
No.
And I get to have my own form of intimacy with self. So things that feed my soul just as an individual. Same quadrants.
Same everything. And most people don't even have this kind of ideology when they move into a relationship, so therefore they wouldn't know.
They don't have it for themselves.
No.
So it's hard to give for,
Well, you get it from, then you start trying to get it from each other. You don't know that, you start trying to get from him or her what you need to fill inside of you that's not full. And for a little while it happens.
Man, I just got into this conversation with a client yesterday because we were talking about soulmates, and she said she's doing a Kabbalah class, which, by the way, note to self, I would love to learn more about Kabbalah, but we'll figure that out later. Spiritual intimacy, real talk here.
Yeah.
But she was saying she was learning about soulmates, and that it's not like what we think we're, this fairy tale belief of soulmate, of this person completes us. And I'm like, that is my biggest pet peeve, this belief that like this person comes in and they're supposed to complete us, fill what we're missing. And that is not true.
Never will be.
Yes, it is our responsibility to make ourselves whole.
That's right.
And then we get to attract. This is a beautiful place to attract somebody from, because we get to then, our energy, we are vibrating at a higher vibration. And then we get to bring in people in our life that are also whole. And nobody's looking for the other person to provide something that would be impossible for this other person to provide, because we're the only ones that can do it. Fill this hole. And then we get to be with somebody because we actually really want to be with them, and not because we feel like we need them.
Yes.
Which is all kinds of problematic.
Because in a relatively short period of time, you exhaust.
Yeah, because nobody can do that.
No, I've seen that so many times in my coupleship. I had in my relationship early on, where that filled all those voids. It's one of the reasons I got so deeply into this work, and you got so deeply into this work. It's because there was another way to be with somebody that wasn't consuming, and that was open and free, and we had to solidify who we were.
Yeah.
We get to walk into, because a lot of this, when you develop these 4 intimacies, these 4 pillars for yourself, your values are developed upon that too. We start to develop our values, age-defying health, or for me, sobriety, personal development, family, travel. Like, I really got to see who I was, what I liked and who I was. And then I got to find, a partner. It takes time. Find a partner that has the same value system.
That is so important.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, I remember Dave told me, he's like, remember my marriage, I'll never forget it. He said, Tim, you don't have the same values. If you don't have the same values, it's not going to work. And that was the first time he ever said that to me. I didn't talk to him for a year. And then the next time I called him, I said, I need help getting a divorce. Yeah, I need help.
Yeah.
So,
I think a lot of people find themselves in that situation because we never really, I have clients that are like early 20s and they're like, I don't want to date. I want to find my husband. And I'm like, no,
Right,
you don't. You want to develop yourself first.
I know.
Like they're like, I want to find my person. I'm like, you are your person.
That's right. You are your person.
You are your person.
You are your person. That's 100%
And then from
accurate.
that place of wholeness, then we get to like attract the person that complements us, not completes us.
That's right. That's right.
I think I'm just gonna drop the mic right here.
That's it. That's it. Compliments, not completes.
Boom.
Life is good when you develop these. Life is good, period.
Yeah.
But life is so much richer and so much deeper when you start really developing these truths.
It took God, the universe, whatever, giving me 3 daughters to see that. To be like, wow, I have 6 little eyes watching me, learning what it means to be a woman in this world. They are like my greatest gift, my greatest teachers. It's why I really got heavy into my work when I became a mom.
Yeah, I know you did. It's we're setting examples for all kinds of people, our kids,
our clients,
people, people that get to be everybody, people that get to be in our lives, and that's for everybody. And when we're doing this type of work and we're developing these type of intimacies, it's like, and before you know it, it's like, bam, it's a click. And then when you get the click, and then you want more of the click, and then you just stay in the click, stay in the intimacies, stay in the consistent bonding and building of these intimacies, and you'll have a life beyond your wildest dreams.
Yeah, I think the click is like that ascension. Like
We're here to
moving into
ascend.
this higher level of consciousness, higher level of vibration, higher level. Yeah, this there's always stuff to be worked on for this, because I'm grateful for that. I am very grateful for that. I think once we get over that huge first hump of like healing the past, that kind of like those first few years, and then we move into like the creation of the awareness and what do I want to create from this place? And we stop looking back and start looking forward with these tools. I think that's magic.
I agree.
For our relationships, for our families, for ourselves.
For the world. I mean, I know that Courageous Hearts got created out of like more of a movement.
Yeah.
How do we create this for the world? This is the world gets better. We get better. Everybody gets better.
Yep.
It starts with the individual, then it moves out to a coupleship, and then it moves out, like, then people are doing groups with our books, and then it moves out to, it moves out.
Our families.
Yeah, it moves out.
Yeah, yeah. I sit down and I talk to my kids' friends all the time about stuff like this.
Me too. And I hold them accountable like I would hold, because we have a couple, Ethan and Lucy's friends. Ethan's, that have been around for 10 years, and I talk to them just like, we got to pay attention to each other's feelings. We got to build each other up. We got to pay. We pay attention if we hurt one another.
Yeah.
And that's building that emotional intimacy. I know a couple of Ethan's friends who were with Lucy down at Meisner last night, and Lucy told me they were down there, and I'm like texting them, watch out for your job. You have one job. Watch out for Lucy and those girls. And that teaches like, community and it's intimacy. It's intimacy.
Yeah, I agree.
So
great talk per usual.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for all your wisdom.
Yeah, thank you for all your love.
Always.
Yeah, you're the engine.
Not true.
I don't know. You're quite the engine.
We're equally yoked, as you would say.
Yeah, we are equally yoked.
So I just want to thank everybody for listening. And if you want to learn more about this, you can grab our book, Courageous Connections. It's on Amazon, barnesandnobles.com. Also, our website, courageousheartscoaching.com. I don't know why I always like Courageous Hearts. courageousheartscoaching.com. And obviously our podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we appreciate you guys.
We do appreciate you guys. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for trusting us.
Yep.
That's what we appreciate, the fact that you trust us.
Yep.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye.